Attention bowlers, we are gonna get started. Welcome back to Exeter Bowling Lane Shooter Sports Pub in Exeter, New Hampshire. This is the ACST Playoffs in Class B North. It's Jeff Little, Justin JT Lyonnais. The playoff match format is 5 strings in which total pinfall determines the winner. I'm Steve Kelly on the call for the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour, brought to you by 3 Ball Spare Conglomerate. It's great to have you along with us. Thanks for tuning in. It's Monday, June 2nd, 2025. Let's talk about a couple things. If you've never seen Candlepin bowling, I hope you enjoy the match today. This is a unique take on bowling from the heart of New England and Eastern Canada. This broadcast should have subtitles and live captioning enabled. Do enable it if you enjoy this feature. Also, consider the transcript feature if you are watching this from YouTube. And we are off. That is JT Lyonnais with a 4 drop to the left of the head pin. 5 pins on the right and the 7 pin. Excuse me, Jeff Little, not JT Lyonnais. My goodness. Mr. Jeff Little, not JT Lyonnais, Jeff Little, missed his mark on the second ball, but he'll stay perfect in the first for a 10 box, 10 after 1 for Mr. Jeff Little. So folks, have a look at the unofficial scoreboard on your screen. The bowlers maintain the official league records separately. The stream score is unofficial. I may pause to verify things every now and then if things seem out of sync, and I appreciate your patience when that happens. There is Jeff Little drawing first blood with a strike. It's JL versus JL this evening, and let's watch Jeff Little throw that strike once again on lane number 4, and the 5 pin was the last to fall along with the 7 pin. Jeff Little, who it's been a little bit of, pun intended, a little bit of time since he's been on my program last, but you've seen him occasionally, and there's Jeff Little for the double. It was a great pitch, and it looked great on paper. He'll split 8. The 7 and the 8. Next ball completes the strike fill for Mr. Jeff Little. Jeff Little, he comes to us with a regular season record of 146 and 106. He'll fill that strike with 9. When Jeff Little was home, he finished the season with a record of 66 and 40, and a away record of 80 and 46. There's a 10 box for Jeff Little, still perfect. 39 after 3. Jeff Little enjoyed a season average of 109.6 in the regular season. At home, he was 108.91. Away, he was 110.29. So take a note of that away average. Higher than the home average. Jeff Little is away this evening, and that's a 5 drop, an awkward 5 drop. We got the 4, 5, 6, 9, 10. No wood. So Jeff Little will go for the 5, and he sure got that 5. Pity he didn't get anything else, but it was a hard leave any way you slice it. It's Jeff Little versus the 4, the 6, the 9, and the 10. And he'll make it an 8 box. A hard-fought 8. 47 after 4 for Jeff Little. Jeff Little in the regular season, he had a high single of 141 and a high series of 587 with 52 strikes, 211 spares, and 191 tens. I would, but, you know. Jeff Little has a perfect box percentage of 50%, 9,864 seasonal total pins. There's a 4 drop for Mr. Little. He left the 1, the 3, the 4, the 7, the 9, and the 10. At the scenic Exeter Lanes in Exeter, New Hampshire. Drove up here in a late afternoon, early evening, and the sun sets late, so it's just about to be sunset. Always a pretty drive, especially when you get off the highway at Exit 9. There's even a sign as you get off of Exit 9 for the Shooter Sports Pub, but we all know that is Exeter Lanes. Okay, so that's a half for Jeff Little. That's 54 after 5 with a strike and 2 tens. Still plenty of bowling to go, but we are here just in the early stages of this match. Again, it is grand total pinfall wins, so we are in it for the long haul. This is a marathon, not a sprint. So let's say hello this evening to our home bowler, Justin JT Lyonnais, the other JL featured this evening. think it's the first time where I've streamed a match where two bowlers have the same initials. So, and an initial-based system results in JL versus JL on my scoreboard. And there's JT Lyonnais leaving the 2 and the 4. So no mark, and he'll take an 8 to start things out. Talk about Justin JT Lyonnais with a overall regular season record of 164 and 88 with 18 matches played. It's a 1.86 win-loss ratio, and he advanced past the first round of the playoffs. Justin Lyonnais in the regular season had a home record of 76 and 50 and away record of 88 and 38. 1.52 win-loss at home, 2.32 win-loss when away. JT will leave the 1, the 5, the 6, and the 10, and he'll take another 8 box, 2 8s in a row for JT Lyonnais at 16. After 2, JT Lyonnais has a season average of 111.64 in the regular season. Home average 109.8, away average 113.49. So just like Jeff Little, JT Lyonnais much higher average away than home. Jeff Little, his home house is Harvard Lanes in Harvard, Mass. And JT Lyonnais, he bowls here at Exeter, New Hampshire. And it will be a 9 or a 10 box. It'll be a 10 box for JT Lyonnais. That's 26 after 3 for Mr. Lyonnais. In that first half, Jeff Little averaged 6.2 pins on the first ball. Currently, JT Lyonnais is averaging 5.7 on the first ball. Here's JT. Leaving the Triforce of Wisdom, the 2 triangle. JT Lyonnais in the regular season had a high single of 151 and a high series of 549, and there is a mark for JT in the 4th. He has acquired the Triforce of Wisdom. Let's watch that again, shall we? 2-4-5, played it direct. He's now going to fill the spare. JT on the head pin, and yikes, woof. That was an interesting split of 4. Pile of 5 pins on the left and the 10. And JT will break the left. He'll take the 5 on the left, and he'll leave the 10 pin on the right with a piece of wood perpendicular. And JT will make that a 10. That'll bring him to 50 after 5. It's a 4-pin difference between Jeff Little and JT Lyonnais. 54 for Jeff Little, 5 boxes in. JT Lyonnais 50 after 5. So it's away bowler next as the bowlers switch their bowling balls across the ball returns. And in the meantime, here's Jeff Little in case you missed it. These are his regular season stats. He finished first place in Class B North Division 1 and the 4th seed in Class B North overall. He had 9 matches at or over 550 this season. On average goes 25.75 for 50 on the head pin this season, 11.56 splits per match. And Jeff Little is now ready to bowl. Here we are. The man himself, Jeff Little. Coming off a 7 box on the bench, he's on the head pin with an 8 drop. That's a 2 and the 5 for Mr. Little. He just missed a little bit to the left. Ball had a little bit too much chutzpah. Going to the left, and he'll leave the 2, and that's a 9. A mark opportunity missed there. That's 63 and 6 for Jeff Little. Jeff Little bowls out of Harvard Lanes in Harvard, Massachusetts. He's been working on organizing some tournaments there recently. Check out Candlepin Chat Facebook page for more info on that. And he'll take a 6-pack on the right side. 1, 5, 3, 6, 9, 10. Jeff Little will miss the front of the 6-pack. He'll collide with the right off the object pin, leaving the 1, the 5, and the 9. and Little will make that an 8 box for 71 in 7. In his past 5 regular season matches, Jeff Little has taken 44 points, averaging 8.8 points per match. In his past 5 matches, he's totaled 2685 pins in his regular season in total pinfall, averaging 537 per match. Here comes Jeff Little to the right, and it'll be a left side Caleri. The Caleri named after Bob Caleri, a frequent bowler on WNDS Candlepin Stars and Strikes back in the day, who apparently got that shot a lot and talked about it a lot. It's the quick elevator pitch of the Caleri. Jeff Little will leave the 4 on the deck. Good mark attempt. And it'll clean up the 4. That's a 10 box for 81 and 8 for Jeff Little. Jeff Little had 16 out of 18 matches at or over 500 in total pinfall this season. His longest streak of strings at or over 100 has been 14 this season. It's quite a streak. His longest streak of matches at or over 500 has been 9. His longest winning streak of greater than 7 points per match has been 3. There's an 8 drop on the head pin. No split. It's the 5 and the 8 for Jeff Little. It's just Jeff Little's world, and we're all living in it. And that was a fantastic spare by Jeff Little. We'll call that a little spare. Laugh at my jokes. Piece of wood across the 5 and the 8. Took that out handily. He's now on his second mark of the game. He's filling a spare now. Jeff Little on a spare fill, and there goes 2 pins, and there's his 2 fill. 93 and 9 for Jeff Little. And wow, what a nice spare for Jeff Little. Great redemption right there after that 2 fill, so he gets another try. Let's watch this. He blew up the 1-3 pocket, and it just exploded. I don't care what you say. You can say whatever. We got some fun audience members in the audience this evening. That's a 3 fill for Jeff Little. Better than the 2 fill, but just couldn't find the head pin on the first ball there. So it should be a 106 for Jeff Little, and I'll verify that in just a moment. Okay, might have one correction. It looks like he had a 105, so I'm just going to correct it to match the paper copy. Again, my stream score is unofficial. It's all about the paper copy, so I was just off by 1. I'll verify that in just a moment. Just didn't have enough time to check, so we'll take a moment to verify that. So there's a 9 box for JT Lyonnais all the while. Let's look at JT Lyonnais' stats. He finished first place in Division 2 of Class B North and finished second place overall in the wild card with a season record of 164 and 88. There's JT on the head pin. Drop 6, split 6 with the banana. JT on the banana will play a blade on the left side. Scatter some lumber around. He'll leave the 7, the 10, and the 6. And there's an 8 for JT, 67 and 7. That ball is just for clearing at the right channel. JT Lyonnais has 54 strikes, 203 spares, and 194 tens for the season. He has a perfect box percentage of 53% with 10,048 seasonal total pins. So he cracked the 10,000 seasonal pin threshold. And there is a quick 2 drop and a half Worcester for JT Lyonnais. And yikes, the first ball on the second pitch punches the 1 and the 9. So it's currently 4 down for Lyonnais, and he'll make that a really hard-fought 6 that he spent 3 balls working on and went to war for. So that will be 73 and 8 for JT Lyonnais. JT Lyonnais has the season progressed, he finished with 10 matches at or over 550. He had one match at or over 600. And there's a 6 drop, leaving the 1, the 3, the 6, and the 7. JT Lyonnais is on the 1, 3, 6, and it almost takes the 7. Pin action just doesn't cooperate. And for the follow-up, he'll take a 10 box. That's 83 and 9 for JT Lyonnais. And at this point, he has a max game of 113, but he needs to basically mark out. Here he goes. On the head pin, and there is... You gotta be kidding me. Kidding me. You saw that, didn't you? I'm not hallucinating. That 6-pin go diagonal and then stand back up to fight. Yeah, that happened. There's the revenge ball and the spare for JT Lyonnais. Unfortunately, due to that, that's going to be the first game in favor of Jeff Little. But again, it's all about the grand total pinfall, so don't worry too much about that. And I do hear some mechanically machiny noises back there, so I think we're probably going to have to take a moment to address that. So, folks, as the ACST wraps up and the streams, and matches and all that kind of quiet down for the next few months, we have some filler for that. This summer, come check out the Amateur Candlepin Bowlers Tour. There will be 4 stops in this summer tournament series. The first of which is coming up next Saturday on the 14th. Today is June 2nd, but it will be June 14th at Ryan's Family Amusements in Millis, Massachusetts for the Scotch Doubles 10-stringer. So that will be first in the series of stops for the ACBT, and that is again 10 strings. It's 90% handicap, so don't worry about any skill gaps or anything like that. Oh, I was talking about that. That was wild. Yeah, that was it went diagonal, and then it stood back up. Yeah. So we're just talking about that 9 drop that JT had. And so, yes, there'll be 2 shifts of the 10-stringer, 9 a.m., 2 p.m. 10-stringer is a long tournament, so obviously it's going to be a bit of a gap in between. And the warm-ups for the 9 a.m. are going to be 8:30 a.m. and 1:30 p.m. respectively for the 2 p.m. shift. It is a doubles tournament, 10 strings, so we hope to see you there. I know I'll be there. I'll be bowling with Brian Hebert, and yeah, do check it out. The ACBT has a Facebook page that you can check out, so they have more additional info and current rosters and all that kind of stuff. So if you want to check all that stuff out, do check it out on the Amateur Candlepin Bowlers Tour Facebook page. We're still waiting on that pin jam, and I'm hearing the noises change, so I think it should be resolved in just a moment. So thank goodness for that. So, folks, in case you're wondering how to read my scoreboard, here's a quick little primer on how that works. The green is for head pin, the red is for splits to the left and right of the score towers. At the bottom of the italics, we have games 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, as well as the grand total pinfall. The 4 triangles is double strike symbol, the square filled in is strike, the triangle is a spare, the X is 10. I know X sometimes means strike, but here it will mean 10. So, anyways, so just give me one moment. I am going to verify a score real quick while we do have a quick moment just to make sure I have the scores correct, and I will double check something in a second.
And ladies and gentlemen, Steve is doing a great job here hosting this match. Jeff Skittles Littles versus JT, a.k.a. Justin Lyonnais. I'm trying to get under his skin a little bit by talking on the microphone, but I don't think it's actually working.
Okay, we're back. Oh, man, So, my apologies on missing that. I just wasn't quick enough to get back to the button. But that was a strike fill for JT Lyonnais. That's an extra 10. So that is a 103 for JT Lyonnais versus 105 for Jeff Little. And those scores are confirmed. My apologies on the delay there. I was just making sure that I had Jeff Little's specifics on his score corrected, and I had the final game total correct. It just bugged me that I had the specific box that I corrected was wrong, so I was just making sure that I had that fixed up. But the numbers are correct: 105 to 103 Little versus Lyonnais, respectively, and that's the point that's the part that matters. So all the little things on that. So, Okay, we had a lot of stuff going on in the past maybe 2 minutes. We had a lane breakdown. We had the end of the first game, and now we're all good. Yeah. Just signaling to Jeff Little, we are all good to go. So, yes, we're at Exeter Bowling Lanes in Exeter, New Hampshire. Jeff Little up from Harvard Lanes in Harvard, Massachusetts. That's his home house. And there is a 5-drop for Jeff Little. We have Peter Crawford Jr. in the audience. That was him hijacking the mic there for a little while there. That's DJ Petey Pete. Jeff Little on a spare shot. And, wow, he got it. He took a spare. What a shooter at the Shooter Sports Pub. Jeff Little. Watch that spare. You see that? On the right of the head pin on the Manhattan side. He just gently nudged it all down. Jeff Little opening up with a mark. Jeff Little on a spare. Little on the spare fill. He's leaving the Triforce of Wisdom. That's a 7 fill and a 7 drop. It's a 2-4-5. We saw this shot just get made just very recently. And Jeff Little, he'll poke the 5. So 7 fill to open up with 17 after 1. He's looking to clean this up. 8, 9, or 10 box. He'll be a 10. Great job by Jeff Little. 27 after 2. Or Mr. Jeff Little. And in the meantime, to conclude our lecture on how to read the scoreboard, in that little mini map in the top left, it's just the bowler initials at the top. We don't care about the points. That's blacked out. We have the match total and the game total on the left and right sides, and the gray represents the differentials. And there, Jeff Little will drop 6 and split 6 with a banana split. 4, 6, 7, 10 is what he's shooting at with no wood. No wood. There's a banana split. Little will play the left. He'll play the right and kick over to the left. And he'll leave the 4-7. Little 8, 9, or 10, still perfect. That's 37 after 3 for Jeff Little. Jeff Little has 10 out of 18 matches with double-digit wins in terms of point take-home. Didn't have any shutout victories, oddly enough. No 600 matches this season for Jeff Little, but he's got plenty of other superlatives we'll get to in just a moment. There's an 8 drop for Jeff Little in a split. That's the 6 and the 8. The piece of wood is it's still settling. It's actually, I was going to say it was in front of the 8, but now it's kind of in between the 6 and the 8, and I think now we might have a moderately better chance of this going. You have to play the left of the 6 and hope that wood kicks and trips. Pens ain't nothing but kicks and trips. I think that was how the song goes. Didn't listen to a lot of 90s gangster rap growing up. Jeff Little averages 8.89 points per away match and 7.33 points per home match. Oh, yep, and he just missed the 6. He took the other pin through courtesy of the wood. And there's a 10, still perfect this game for Jeff Little, 47 after 4. In Jeff Little's past 5 matches, he's taken 11 strikes, 55 spares, and 60 tens for the season. 2.2 strikes per match, 11 spares per match, and 12 tens per match on average in his past 5 regular season matches. Oh, my bad. Actually, I had it right, and I guess JT had it wrong. JT thought he had bowled 5 boxes, and he bowled 4. Sorry, we have some people leaning on the table. I have the Zoom cam on. Apologies on that. And there's an 8 drop for Jeff Little. There we go. Oh. The Zoom cam's is bobbing a little bit. It's okay. There's a spare by Jeff Little. 57 after 5. I'm not sure if I got the... Oh, I did. There we go. There's the replay. Sorry about the earthquake. Should be a little bit more stable now. That's 57 and a bonus after 5 for Jeff Little. A spare at the beginning and a spare at the end. A bookend with 3 tens. Triple X in the middle. That's Jeff Little. Here's JT now. And that is a 5 drop for JT on the head pin. That's a 3, the 6, the 4, the 7, and the 9 for JT. He'll take the right half. Hit the Brooklyn side of the 3. And that was a very loud noise. 10 box for JT Lyonnais. Yeah, no problem. JT Lyonnais is 10 after 1. And Jeff Little had 17 after 1. Oh, my goodness. And JT missed the head pin, but a powerful strike. Well, not a strike, you know what I mean. He struck the rack, and he left the 1 and the 8. Oh, and he hit the head pin, and the ball and the pin sailed safely away from the pin in the back. And there's a 10 box for JT Lyonnais. That's 20 after 2 for JT. A lot of perfect box percentage highlights going on this game in particular. Every frame has been perfect. Jeff Little spare 7 and an open spare in the 5th. JT on the head pin. It will be a strike. It looks good. Not quite, but it looks like it's a good spare leave potential. Single, but that piece of wood is dicey. The audience trying to convince that wood to sidestep out of the way, but Lyonnais is going to have to play it. And, yep, that was the worry there. The deflection was, that was the worry. That is Petey Pete yelling in the background, by the way. There is another 10 box for JT Lyonnais, and some might call that a Paul Grant special, in which you miss the second and get the third on a spare leave, especially a single pin. That's a $1 donation to Candlepins for Cancer per occurrence. We'll talk more about Candlepins for Cancer in just a little bit. JT Lyonnais on the head pin again, and a split of 6. 4-6, 3-10. Oh, and it'll sail through the middle. 4-6, 3-10 for a 10 box, and it'll poke hard for a 7. The first not perfect box is thrown by JT for 37 after 4. Let's talk about JT Lyonnais a little more. He has 1 out of 18 matches with shutout victories. 12 out of 18 regular season matches with double-digit wins. And check out that strike. Blink and you'll miss it. I know I almost did. That's a strike for JT Lyonnais. Let's catch that on the replay because even I have to watch this back. Watch that in the 1-3 pocket. Everything went down except for the 5, but the 5 was convinced to go down. That's 47 and a bonus for Lyonnais, 57 and a bonus for Little. It's JT versus JT here at Exeter Bowling Lane Shooter Sports Pub. It's poker night here. The bar is packed. We have the bowling alley half of the building to ourselves, so we're taking full advantage of that. The difference in the total is 12 currently. Jeff Little, 162 and a ball. JT Lyonnais, 150 and a ball. And those scores are confirmed, I believe, as I look over to the paper copy. And I apologize for the occasional earthquake of the Zoom cam. I'm on a table that is seemingly connected to the seats that the bowlers are sitting in. So when someone sits down or gets up, it just wobbles a little. So there's a 7 drop for Jeff Little. Again, the Triforce of Wisdom. Wisdom, power, and courage. Wisdom is the 2 triangle. Power is the 4 triangle. The 1 triangle is the courage triangle. 2, 4, 5 for Jeff Little. Oh, and he almost takes out the Triforce of Wisdom. He leaves the 5 pin. And there's a 10 box for Jeff Little. That's 74. $74 after 6, to be exact. So 74 for Little. He's still perfect. 4 10s, 2 spares. Both of those spares just had 7 fills. Very consistent, Jeff Little is. He's off to the right. 5 drop Kaleri. A Kaleri on the left side, I might add. 1, 2, 4, 7, and 9. Little on the Kaleri. There's the Kaleri. We have a Kaleri spare. DJ PD Pete would like to remind us that Kaleri bad, but not in this instance. Look at that. Clearing at the Kaleri. Jeff Little, 3rd spare of the game. 84 and a bonus. Kaleri bad. And on the head pin, and there's 9. There's a good 9 out of you, Jeff Little, on the spare. 93 and 7. Jeff Little in his past 5 away matches, he's taken 38 points in the regular season, I might add. And he had 37 points in his past 5 home matches. Very consistent. Oh, and that's a, oh, yikes. Bowler's call. Oh, yeah. That was a glorious 9-box for Jeff Little. In case you missed it, that ball went into the right channel, came out and took the pin. That is no good. That's a 9-box. On a single pin spare on the 10. Hard on that side for a righty. And depending on how you throw, I actually am not really one to talk because I slide on the wrong foot, so that's a whole other discussion. That's a 4-drop for Jeff Little. A little bit too full in the 1-2 pocket, leaving the 6, the 8, and the 10. So no mark for Jeff Little will be for a 7, 8, 9, or 10 box, and it will be an 8. Would you believe that that was actually his worst box this game? That's 1, 10, and 9 for Jeff Little by my count. Kind reminder again, the scoring is paper and pencil. There is no projector on, so I'm going to have to reach over to verify, but by my count, it's 1, 10, and 9 for Jeff Little. Little to the right. Right of the head pin. Drop 6, it's the 4 horseman left side. Or a Caleri minus the sleeper. If you like Imperial versus Metric, it's the 1, the 2, the 4, and the 7. There's Jeff Little. On the 1, 2, 4, 7, and he leaves the 4. It's a good bid. A nice attempt, but just didn't quite work out. There's a 9, and that should be a 119 for Jeff Little, and I can confirm that is indeed a 119. So that's 224 for Jeff Little, 2 games in this 5-game series at Exeter Bowling Lanes in Exeter, New Hampshire. You're watching the Atlantic Cannibal Singles Tour in the playoffs in Class B North. I'm Steve Kelly. Battle of the 2 jails this evening. It's a 6-drop so far on the strike for Justin Lyonnais. JT Lyonnais. 1, 2, 4, 7. And for the spare, and he'll take a 9 on the strike fill, 56 and 5. Missed the object pin. There's the object pin, 66 and 6. 6, 6, 6 for JT Lyonnais. Let's talk some head pin and split stats. Jeff Little is 12 for 20 with 4 splits. JT Lyonnais is 9 for 16 with 5 splits. Jeff Little, 6.2 on average on the first ball. It's a 6-drop and a split for JT Lyonnais. Not a banana, but it's the 2, 4, 6, 10. And almost, that was a beautiful bid by JT Lyonnais. And the 6-pin somehow was not involved in the skirmish. But he's all over it for a 10. That should be 76 and 7 for JT Lyonnais. JT Lyonnais' head pin average per match is 24.47 for 50. With 9.14 splits per match, there's a quick 9 drop, leaving the 10 pin. On lane 3. Oh, and he gets stuffed by the wood. I've been there. I know that feeling. But a pin missile right to the pin is a 10-box. That's a PGS right there. A frustrating one because he threw really the right kind of ball. The deadwood and candlepin is an interesting beast. JT Lyonnais is the left of the head pin. He'll drop for... You spin me right round, as DJ PD Pete sings. 1, 3, 6, 7, 8, 10. Still spinning. Very spinny. Oh, and well, that spinning pin is now history. But the same standing pins are still standing. Be a 4 greater. And he'll leave the head pin, take everything but the head pin. That's a 9-box. Out of JT Lyonnais for 95 and 9. He has a max of 125 by this point. He'll need a lot of marks to get to the 119 that Jeff Little threw. He's on the headpin. Oh, and he almost threw a strike. He left the 6. 6.4 is JT Lyonnais' first ball average. 2 games in. There's a spare. 105 plus a ball in 10. So we can get to 115, I'm afraid. Jeff Little still leading by just a little bit. It'll just be a gap closer here for JT Lyonnais. Oh, and it'll be a 5 fill. Yikes. So that is 213 after 2 games for JT Lyonnais with that 110, and 119 for Jeff Little puts him at 224. Oh, and excuse me, there was a sleeper pin. That's a 4 fill, not a 5. My bad. So that's a 109 for JT Lyonnais. Yep. Yeah, my bad. Didn't see the sleeper pin back there. It's a 212 for JT Lyonnais and 224 for Jeff Little. Those scores are indeed confirmed. So it is close. It's a difference of 12 in the total. Jeff Little currently has it, but we still have 3 games to write that in stone. So we will find out in just a moment here on the ACST in the Class B playoffs. It's Jeff Little versus Justin JT Lyonnais. Now Steve Kelly on the call. And again, we are at Exeter Bowling Lanes, Shooter Sports Pub in Exeter, New Hampshire. Great house to bowl in. Very historic house since the 40s. 12-lane house. Great smelling pizza here. Great drinks. Check out the bar. They have Sun Cruisers. That's currently my drink of choice. Jeff Little on lane 4, our way bowler. Here he is. Mr. Little. Oh, and, well, that was a interesting split. It's a 4 drop so far. It's an honorary spread eagle if the 10 pin was the 9 pin. Jeff Little punches the 4, and that's it for that ball. He's got the 2, 3, 6, 7, 9. Little just trying to clean that mess up. He'll leave a very unique triangle of the 2, the 7, and the 9 for a 7 box. Jeff Little, last time versus JT Lyonnais in the regular season, he took 10 points off of JT. Give you some perspective, the last time these 2 gentlemen bowled each other. They bowled each other once during the regular season, and there's a 2 drop for Jeff Little, way off to the left. Jeff Little has finished with the 11th highest Class B average at 109.6, the 9th highest Class B total strikes at 52, and the 5th highest Class B total spares at 211. The 2-6-10 for Jeff Little on the spare shot. Oh, and a nice backdoor cleanup by Jeff Little. And that's a nice 10 box for 17 after 2. In the quarterfinals of the playoffs, Jeff Little faced Tony Delmonico, and he bowled a 550 series to defeat Tony Delmonico's 518. That brought Jeff Little to this match this evening. And there is the 7 split on the first ball for Jeff Little. 7-10-4. For 7-10, Jeff Little. Oh, yikes. He'll kick the 4-pin forward and trip the wood the wrong way. And he'll take a 9. Jeff Little just trying to get started here in the 30s at 26 after 3. Last time versus JT Lyonnais, it was round 6 in the regular season. It was a home game for Jeff Little at Harvard Lanes in Harvard, Massachusetts. He had a 571 series. Jeff Little yells, "Oh, Jeffrey." He'll drop 2 on the right side. The 6 and the 10 go down. Jeff Little threw an 89, a 140, a 128, a 117, and a 97 in that match against JT Lyonnais. He had 3 strikes, 13 spares, and 9 tens with 22 headpin shots, 8 splits, and took 10 points that match. And that's the 3 and the 8 for Jeff Little. And Jeff Little will take a 9 in the fourth for 35. Last season, Jeff Little's home house was Academy Lanes in Haverhill, Massachusetts. This year, he went to Harvard Lanes in Harvard, Mass. There's a 9 drop for Mr. Little on the 5-pin, single pin spare opportunity. Jeff Little comes to us from Leominster, Mass., his place of residence. His all-time high single is 183, bowled it twice, once at Putnam Street and once at Academy. And there's a spare for Jeff Little. 45 and a bonus after 5 with that spare. That's his first mark of this game. Jeff Little has 1 strike and 6 spares cumulatively, 60% on the head pin so far, as is JT Lyonnais. Both bowlers with an equal amount of splits, all the same. Actually, very similar stats, just a difference of 10 in terms of the fill total and average. These bowlers are very close in terms of all the stats in general. So it's time to see what JT Lyonnais can do in response and see if he can pull ahead here. JT's on the head pin, drops 8. It's the 3 and the 5. JT on the 3-5. There's a spare. He's on the board. 10 after 1. And a bonus. Sorry, just catching up on a few. There was a question on what a Sun Cruiser is. It's a local drink, fairly new. It's like an... Oh, but hold on a minute. There's a strike for JT Lyonnais. Someone always throws a mark when I need to say something, so we'll get back to that in just a moment. Let's check out that replay by JT Lyonnais. That strike on the 1-2 pocket on the Brooklyn side. Wow, what an explosion there. In fact, let's watch it again. Look at that go. Yeah, Sun Cruiser is it's like a sugarless vodka iced tea that comes in various flavors. Fairly new, local to New England, from what I could tell on the can. And for the double strike, he'll drop 9. Almost a double, leave the 5. JT Lyonnais. Oh, and he'll miss the single pin. He'll fill with 9. So a strike on spare and a 9 fill on the strike on a single pin. And it's going to be... JT was there the whole time. Anybody know Paul Grant's phone number? Gonna call him and fill him in. Paul Grant special on the 5-pin. That's another donation right there. And Lyonnais on the head pin again. Drops 6. 3, 6, 9, 10. There's a spare, an angry spare, but sometimes the angry spares are good spares, and that was a good spare. 3, 6, 9, 10. Take a good look at those pins because they're about to disappear. Now you see them, now you don't. There's JT Lyonnais on the head pin, and he'll drop 8 and split 8. That's a 7 and the 10. 67 and 4 for JT Lyonnais. Yikes. Ow, my eardrums. He'll play the 2 pieces of wood and take the 10. The ball almost goes to the 7, but rolls away in front of it. There's a 9 for JT Lyonnais. Nice powerful half. Should be 76 and 5. I'll verify that in a moment. And yes, all these numbers are correct. That's 76 after 5 for JT Lyonnais and 45 and a bonus after 5 for Jeff Little. It's going to be Jeff Little's turn to respond to that powerful half by JT Lyonnais. So we're at Exeter Bowling Lane Shooters Sports Pub in Exeter, New Hampshire this evening. Open since 1946. Cash only ATM on premises with paper scoring. Seacoast, New Hampshire adjacent. And also do check out the Shooter Sports Pub if you ever visit here. They have poker nights. Tonight is poker night in the bar. There's a lot of people over there. Actually, the parking lot is quite full. And we're wondering where all those people are, and they are all packed in the bar. There's a 7 drop, the Triforce of Wisdom, and a 7 fill for Jeff Little. He's good at those 7 fills, I might add. 2, 4, 5, no wood. Oh, and the triangle is undefeated once again. It was defeated earlier, but since then it's been undefeated. He leaves the 4. There's a 9 for Mr. Little, 61-6. Rob Ficar is the owner of Exeter Bowling Lanes. And shout out to Darren, who works here. I see him a lot, and he's always super friendly dude. He's not here this evening, or as far as I can tell, but just big shout out to Darren. I always like talking with him. That's a pile of 5 on the right for Jeff Little. 5, 6, 3, 9, 10. Jeff Little will leave 3 on the deck and take 2. It's the 3, 5, 10. Jeff Little struggling a little bit in this game in particular. So it's like a 9 box, 70-7. By the 7th frame, Jeff Little is only at 70. JT Lyonnais is at 76 back in the 5th. So you can kind of now see a bit of a gap forming, and this is a bit of a potential pivot point and maybe a danger zone, because the bowlers were very close. Jeff Little was up by plus 11 by the end of the previous game. There's a drop of 8, split of 8 for Jeff Little. And it's the 5 and the 7. There's a piece of wood to the right of the 5, and I think it can go, but it's going to be a bit of a doozy. And yeah, I would play the red line of the wood on the right of the 5. Let's see if Jeff Little does that, and he goes too far to the right. Trips the 5 forward, leaves the 7. The execution on that was a little off. There's a 10 for Jeff Little. That's 80-8. Jeff Little has a max of 140 by this point. Two boxes to go. Currently 80-8. Jeff Little fires on the right side. To the center, a little bit too much to the center. It's a split of 5. Spread eagle minus the 2. 3, 4, 6, 7, 10. Oh, what a mark by Jeff Little. That was a fantastic shot. Let's watch this. He played the right side, obviously, the 3-6. Look at that dance. That dance by Jeff Little that was something. Do I have time to play it again? Watch this. Look at that. He was so pumped up by that. All right, he's filling that spare now. On the head pin, and he fills with 10. What a comeback right there. Jeff Little was a little bit in the red at the beginning, and okay, 1 second. I might need to check something. All right, I'll have to double-check the score on Jeff Little in just a moment. It seems either I didn't write down a box or something got off on the paper copy. So once we have a pause in the action, I'll double-check what that is. Anyways, look at that. Look at that mark attempt by JT Lyonnais. He'll, excuse me, not a mark attempt, a 10-box attempt. He'll leave that as a 7-box. So Jeff Little score is unconfirmed at the moment. Looks like I got a box behind. I will verify that in just a moment when I have a few seconds. And there's a drop of 8, a drop of 9 for JT Lyonnais. Leaving the 3. And there's a spare for JT Lyonnais. That's 93 and a ball and 7. It would appear Jeff Little has 109. So just put 109 in the back of your mind until I get the visual score indicator filled in, but there is a strike for JT Lyonnais in the meantime. Look at that strike by JT Lyonnais. The 9 pins last to fall. For the moment, I'll just make that a 109 for Jeff Little until I get the specifics down. There's a double strike for JT Lyonnais. Now he's cooking with gas. That heater right on the head pin, almost too full. Had a potential to be a spread eagle. So fast the pins are still loading, and maybe I can take a moment to... Oh, and JT, he'll fill that double strike with 4. And then the follow-up fill is 6. I believe that's 143. I'm going to double-check all the math. And there's a 7 for JT Lyonnais. So, I believe that's 150. I'm going to have to take a moment to pause to verify all of this in just a moment, so bear with me. Thank you. Yep, 150. All right, 150 is confirmed for JT Lyonnais. I'm going to just double check what I did to mangle Jeff Little's score. So give me 1 second. I got the paper copy in front of me. Okay. And then a spare 10. There we go. There's the real score for Jeff Little. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I think I had just a bit of an oopsie with the scores there for Jeff Little's side. I either got a box ahead or behind or in some capacity. So thank goodness for the paper copy, which I was able to procure. And okay, it is 333 for Jeff Little and 362 for JT Lyonnais. That's a difference of 29 now in JT Lyonnais' favor as he finished with a big 150. My apologies for not commenting on that more. I just had to got lost in the sauce on the scores. But new game, new scores, new everything. It's a difference of 29 with JT Lyonnais in the lead right now. And there is a 5 drop and a 5 split for Jeff Little. He made the inverse of the shot in the previous game. Let's watch him tackle this. And he tried to go for it again, but he punches the 6. Excuse me, it wasn't the inverse. It was the same shot, but just punches the 6 this time. And Jeff Little will make that a 9. 9 after 1. Jeff Little has been bowling for 39 plus years as of April 2025. His all-time high triple is 445. His all-time high 5 is 665. There's a 6 drop for Jeff Little. 1, 3, 6, 8. Oh, and there's a spare by Jeff Little. Jeff Little's been making some really impressive shots. Look at that go. You get into the playoffs for a reason, and with Jeff Little, I am clearly seeing the reason. Some of these shots have been fantastic. And, there's a 1 fill for Jeff Little. 20 after 2. Jeff Little, the ACST champion during the 2022 and 2023 season, so he's no stranger to the playoffs. He'll poke the 3 on the second ball. He's currently got 2 down, 8 up. Oh, and he'll have a great out of Jeff Little at what could have been way worse, but he's at a 10 box for 30 after 3. Jeff Little's favorite bowling moment was he threw 2 triple strikes in the same game at Mason's in Leominster. His grandfather and his father got him into bowling. He also plays golf and tons of video games. There's a strike for Jeff Little. Not a spare, a strike. 2 marks this half for Jeff Little. That's 40 and a bonus after 4. Jeff Little is also an avid golfer. And the pin setter even was stunned and needed a moment to figure itself out. But Jeff Little is working on a strike going into the 5th frame of the first half. Of the 4th game, I might add. 3.5 games in, just about here for Jeff Little. And he's on the head pin for the double. It was a good idea on paper. He'll drop 8. Jeff Little is averaging roughly 5.9 pins on the first ball. 8 fill and counting. Might be a spare on strike. Let's see. And it sure is. A spare on strike puts him at 60 and a bonus after 5 for Jeff Little. 60 and a bonus is nothing to shake a stick at, especially when you're looking at grand total pinfall and just trying to make up a deficit in the total. Jeff Little putting up quite a heck of a fight. 60 and a bonus after 5. And here is JT Lyonnais to the right of the head pin. There's a 4-drop for JT Lyonnais. Shaved some off the right and shaved 1 off the left. And pokes the 9. When he throws these heaters, it's feast or famine. You figured it out in the last half of the last game. That's a 7-box for JT Lyonnais. Triples at the end of the... By the end of the 3rd game, Jeff Little had a 333 and JT Lyonnais had a 362. So he was just a little bit shy of a 400 by 28 pins. And he'll split 6. Yikes. No mercy down there. 4, 5, 7, 10. That'll be a poke of the 5 for JT Lyonnais, leaving the 4, the 7, and the 10 on the deck. JT Lyonnais will poke the 4. That'll be an 8-box. 15 after 2. JT Lyonnais' home house is here at Exeter Bowling Lanes in Exeter, New Hampshire. In his past 5 regular season matches, he took 50 points, averaging 10 per match. In his past 5 matches in the regular season, he totaled 28.97 pins. In total pinfall, averaging 579.4 per match. That's significant because that's a high average per match, gotta say. All of his matches were over 500 this season. And will those pins go down? Will that 6-pin go down? It sure will go down. It took a heck of a long time. I don't think my replay buffer got it, but yeah, look at that. Look at how long that took. I don't know how much of the shot I actually got, but yeah, look at the 2 pins. Look at that 6-pin. Almost betraying him twice. But that's what he thinks about that. There's a strike for JT, 45 and a bonus after 4. So with a quick strike on spare, both bowlers have at least 2 marks. JT Lyonnais is not done yet, though, so we'll see. Working on a strike. Just slightly off to the right of the head pin. Kaliri minus. Nope, it's 7-drop after everything, 8-drop after everything mixes. 1 of the 3, 8 fill at least. Could be a spare on strike. Let's see if JT Lyonnais beans these 2 pins. Well, he beans 1 pin. That's a 9 pin. That's a 9 fill. 54 and 4. 3 pin left. 3 pin stays. 63 for JT. He fought hard to reclaim that powerful half by Jeff Little. He got to 63 without a fill. Jeff Little currently 60 with a fill. So JT Lyonnais currently tentatively has the total by 32 at the moment, with 425, 3.5 games in. Jeff Little 393 plus a ball, down by 32 minus his next fill. Jeff Little 2 strikes, JT Lyonnais 5, Lyonnais 7 spares, Little 9. Both bowlers, 20-something odd head pins. 23 for Jeff Little with a 66%. JT Lyonnais 22 with a 63%. 9 splits for Little, 8 splits for Lyonnais. So very, very close in terms of the stats, and Jeff Little is now ready to bowl. Here is Jeff Little filling a spare. He's all over the head pin. He'll fill with 9, leaving the 10. 69 and 5. Oh, and that wood is not going to be fun to shoot at. That wood is going to be an absolute wild card. Or you can attempt to try to get the ball around it and go straight for the 10-pin. You're going to have to really aim that well. Some bowlers might shoot for the wood, for the chaos ball. Let's see what Jeff Little decides. He decided to try the chaos ball, but the chaos ball was not nice to him. I probably would have opted to maybe try to avoid that entirely. Jeff Little will ride the rail and go into the gutter for a 9-box for 78 in 6. Jeff Little on the 1-3 pocket. He drops 7. The Triforce of Wisdom once again. 2-4-5. Do you think it's going to go this time? Let me know in the comments. Oh, and Little will punch the 4. I watched the way that ball was released, and I watched it kind of spin as soon as it hit the planks, and something told me, I was like, that's not going to head for its target, is it? And there's a 10-box for Jeff Little to clean that mess up. That's 88 in 7. $2. Jeff Little on the 1-3 pocket, and there's a strike. Jeff Little, that was his 4th mark of the game. He's keeping things even with 2 strikes and 2 spares. That's 98 in 8 plus a fill. Jeff Little, 98 and a bonus in 8. He's been all over the head pin, just only 2 boxes without head pin shots. Oh, well, jinxed him there. There's a 7 drop. 1-2-4. Seven fill at least on this strike for Jeff Little. Oh, and he's all over it. That's 118 and a bonus for Jeff Little. That's his 5th mark of the game. More than half of his game has been marks. 118 and a bonus. Jeff Little is 26 for 39 on the head pin with 9 splits. He has a max game of, I believe, 148 at this point. Oh, check that out. And he'll fill with 7, split 7. 5-7-10 Matsusi special. 125 and 9. 5-7-10 split. He has a max.
You can absolutely kiss that 5.
No, sorry. Excuse me. You could play the left of the 5 on the wood. Probably get a decent sweep. Just play the left. That's the target. Oh, and he was just a little bit to the left of the wood. If he was a little bit lower on that, I think it would have gone. And it'll be an 8, and that's a 133, I believe, for Jeff Little. I'll verify that in just a moment. Yes, that is indeed a 133. And while we're at the 63 half by JT Lyonnais is also confirmed, just to make sure we're all staying in sync, because after last game, I'm just double and triple checking. Here's a 9 drop for JT Lyonnais, leaving the 5 pin to start things off in the second half, coming off the bench. A lot of wood down there, though. So that was the shot. Honestly, I think I would have played that the same way. Would have played the leftmost wood, and JT did, but just things didn't mix around correctly. That's a 10 box for JT Lyonnais, 73 and 6. A little PGS. Never hurt anybody. And we got a pin setter we're waiting on, so let's check out, let's talk about Candlepins for Cancer while we're at it. We've been talking about Paul Grant specials and all this fun we've been poking around, but nothing that, what is completely serious is Candlepins for Cancer. Check out candlepins4cancer.com. Great charity run by Al Johnson and Paul Grant, and I want you to go check it out. There's a donation platform, but you can also, excuse me 1 second. That was a 3-drop to open up. But there's also bowling tournaments you can sign up for on candlepins4cancer.com. So do check out that website for all the latest information. And it's a 4-box. Ouch for JT Lyonnais, leaving the 6-pack on the right with a 3-drop opener, a whiff on the second ball, and a 4-box to conclude the 7th frame for 77 and 7 for JT Lyonnais. But he continues on. He continues firing. That's a split of 7. It's the 5-9-10. 5-9-10 for JT Lyonnais. He'll punch the 9, leaving the 5 and the 10. Jeff Little, 68% in the head pin, 27 for 40. JT Lyonnais, 63% in the head pin, 24 for 38. And that will be a 9-box for JT. That'll be 86 and 8. 2 frames to go. Jeff Little averaging roughly 6.2 pins on the first ball. JT Lyonnais is averaging roughly 6.3 pins on the first ball. JT on the 1-2 pocket and a really ugly hit. A 4-drop, if you can believe a pocket shot off of that. 4, 5, 6, 3, 7, 10. He'll play the right side. Not much he could do about that. Left with the 3, 4, 5, 7. Punch the 5. That'll be a 7 for 93 and 9 for Mr. Lyonnais. Anyways, cut that slide short, but here's more of it. So yes, candlepins4cancer.com is the place to go. It's a great charity for assisting folks in the candlepin community for who are in need of cancer treatments and stuff, and it's a great cause. So do check it out. I always like to push that. Candlepins4cancer.com. JT Lyonnais, after a 6-drop, he'll take 2 on the right side and leave the 2 on the left side. It was the 3, 6, 4, 7, and that will be a 9, and that will be a 102 for Jeff Little. It's a difference of +2 for Jeff Little now. 466 Jeff Little, 464 JT Lyonnais. I believe that score is confirmed. 133-102, if I can read the handwriting correctly. All right, let's move on to the 5th and final game, and it is basically a scratch match going into the 5th game. Jeff Little only has a lead of 2. 466 for Jeff Little, 464 for JT Lyonnais. These bowlers have been definitely playing right up against one another in terms of the competition, and anytime there's been a deficit, the other bowlers come roaring back. So welcome to the 5th game, which is effectively a scratch match. LFG. Jeff Little will open up with a 3-drop. 1, 2, 4, 7, 8, 6, 10. Jeff Little punches the head pin a little bit too much. He leaves the 2, 4, 6, 7, 10. And Little will take a 7-box to open up 7 after 1. Jeff Little, up to this point, he threw a 105, a 119, a 109, and a 133 for a 4-game total of 466. JT Lyonnais threw a 103, 109, 150, and a 102 for a 4-game total of 464. And here is Jeff Little. He'll take 5. I won't make a jazz reference. It's the 13589 for Jeff Little. It'll take all but the head pin. There's a 10-box for Jeff Little, 17 after 2. Jeff Little on the road, 80 and 46, a 1.74 kill-death ratio compared to his 1.10 kill-death ratio at his home house. So Jeff Little does better on the road, but JT Lyonnais also does better on the road. So just little fun facts. But Jeff Little is the one on the road this evening. And he's... oh, almost was a Caleri. He'll drop 6. 1479. Oh, Jeff Little will scream his name in vain and punch the 9. 147 left. No mark. And Little will make it an 8 box for 25 in the third. In the third frame. So Jeff Little, as we've seen, we've seen him get hot and cold. Right now we seem to be in a cold streak, but that can flip at any moment, so do stay tuned. Jeff Little. Nope, not a Caleri. I'm on Caleri watch, and one extra pin keeps falling. 1249 for Jeff Little. He has not found the head pin at all this game so far. Still a 61% overall completion percentage, and he'll go for the pocket, and he'll leave the sleeper. And Little will take a 9. That's 34-4 for Jeff Little. Jeff Little, the division leader of Class B North Division 1, and the 4th seed overall. There's a Caleri. I've been waiting for that. No, Jesus. Not a Caleri. Okay, so the secret is if I call a Caleri, it's not going to be a Caleri. And that seems to be working in the bowler's favor, or at least Jeff's favor as of right now. But he didn't get a mark out of it. He left the 1, the 6, and the 10. It's a 9 for Jeff Little. That's a markless 43. That is a moment of weakness for Jeff Little in a time when it was a scratch match, 4 games down. That puts him at 509, 4.5 games in, and he's really going to need marks, especially if JT Lyonnais gets as little as like 1 to 2 marks. So stay tuned. It's going to be a doozy of a final half here for Jeff Little. JT Lyonnais now. It was a difference of 2 going into this game. Jeff Little was +2.
Really?
So JT's off to the right. It's a 4 drop for Jeff Little. JT, excuse me. Too many JLs. Too many initials being the same. JT misses his mark, so he's still looking at a 4 box or greater at the moment, and it will be a 7 to open up. Both bowlers opening with a 7 box. Interesting how both of these diverging paths converge towards the end here. And again, to remind you, Jeff Little was at 466 coming into this 5th game. JT Lyonnais is 464. So a difference of 2. And that's a 3 drop for JT. Both bowlers just suddenly, I don't know what's going on here, but they're both really wildly missing the head pin and the target pins. And if they both do it in unison, I guess it makes for a competitive match, but not the most exciting match to watch in that regard. That's a 6 box for JT Lyonnais, 13 after 2. Compare that to Jeff Little's 17 after 2. Jeff Little has an advantage of 32 pins in the next 3 boxes against JT Lyonnais. JT Lyonnais can mark at least once. He'll catch up. JT Lyonnais on the head pin, and he found the head pin there at our first head pin shot of this game. He'll drop 6 and split 6 as the 4-6-2-10. JT on the left.
Shot!
Oh, on the...
Oh my sweet baby Jesus.
Well, he got a...
Ball, dude. Nice ball.
So I think the 6 pin fell because PD Pete yelled, but hey, if it falls, a fair pin, it falls. My eardrums. That's a 9 box for JT Lyonnais. That's 22 and 3. Oh man, it's a difference of 3 by the 3rd frame, and Jeff Little +2 to that. So basically, just a difference of 5 in the 3rd frame. And JT will mix 7 down, missing the head pin again. 1-8-10. 1-8-10. Just literally 1 mark will put him back ahead. He's on the head pin, and he'll take the... Oh, man, he was on it. That was the right idea. Just hit a little bit too hard, and the 8 pin is left, and the 8 pin goes. That's 10 box. Both bowlers with 110 box in this game. That's 32 after 4 for JT Lyonnais. It's 34 for Little in the 4th. So Jeff Little plus 4 by this point. JT Lyonnais now on the head pin. Come on, we just want to see at least one mark here. Come on, that's an 8 drop for JT Lyonnais. 4-7. This is a spare leave. Finally, we got something that can go here. JT. Oh no! The wood just gets obliterated. The ball gets obliterated. The pins are not obliterated. That's a 9 for JT, and it's a difference of 4 in Jeff Little's favor. 5 boxes to go. It's a close match. 43-41 is confirmed on the paper copy. So Jeff Little plus 4 with a 509. JT Lyonnais is 505, and it's again only a handicap of 4 for Jeff Little going into these final 5 boxes in this barn burner of a 5th game. 43 Jeff Little, 41 JT Lyonnais, 5 boxes in, and it's basically gonna be an old school shootout, and it will just be a matter of who can get out of this markless rut. You're going into the final 5. The first bowler to get out of that dungeon of the lack of marks will win and go to the finals to face Dominic Palladino. Which one of you two faces Dominic Palladino? Find out with me. Here's Jeff Little. Little's on the pocket. 7 pins go down. Oops. That's a 2-7-10 for Jeff Little. The away JL. He'll fire on the 2 and only take the 2, the 7 and the 10. This is going to be a very, very, very close match. It'll be a 9 for Jeff Little, 52-6. 4 boxes to go. Currently at 518. And this is a clincher. A clincher in certain places, if you know what I mean. Jeff Little. On the 1-3 pocket. And he'll drop 8. There's a spare leave. Haven't seen a lot of those so far this game. That's the 2 and the 4. Mr. Little on the 2 and the 4. Oh, and he'll miss it. He'll miss it off to the left. It's the jitters are getting to both bowlers here. There's a 9 for Jeff Little, 61-7. This is what makes or breaks you in the competitive landscape. You just got to get over the psychological hump and just you got to make sure you execute in all 3 phases of the game. What are those 3 phases? Don't effing ask me. There's a strike for Jeff Little. Would you believe that's the first mark of this dang 5th game? That's 71-8 for Jeff Little. So now we have something to talk about. Jeff Little with a strike, 71 and a bonus in 8. A fill and 2 boxes to go. Jeff Little's currently 63% on the head pin. 30 for 48 to be exact. He has 11 splits. And JT Lyonnais is right up there with him, 28 for 45 on the head pin and 12 splits. Jeff Little. Oh, it's the 189 incident. Yep, I've been there. I've seen that shot here before. I myself have gotten that shot here before. Well, 3 down so far on the fill for the strike. Let's see what the next ball brings us. And it will be a 4. A 4 fill for Jeff Little. That's 75-8. I'm trying really hard not to. Just, oh my goodness. Oh, that's symmetrical beauty. A beautiful symmetrical 2, 3, 5, 7, 10 for Jeff Little. That's 80-9. Oh, wow. I would be hopping mad if I threw balls like that and got leaves like that. Let me tell you, Jeff Little doing a remarkable job keeping his cool off. After that, he's on the head pin and he drops 9. There's a single pin spare opportunity for the final frame for Jeff Little. It's a 9 drop and the 9 pin. in 9, and he could get to 90 plus a bonus if he can get the single pin spare. And will he get it? Oh, he's got it. Oh, and that was crucial for Jeff Little. So at least he can get a little bit more of a wall of defense. It's kind of more like a small sandcastle of defense, but defense is defense, and defense wins championships. Jeff Little went from no head pins in the first half to all head pins in the second half, if you can believe that. He's at 90 and a bonus in the 10th, and this is his final ball of this match. 5:56 and counting for Jeff Little. Oh, and he'll split 4. Jeff Little went to war, and oh, I don't know if you heard that. If you didn't, never mind. But if you did, we are all Jeff Little when it comes to that. 2 mark 94 for Jeff Little. No head pins in the first half and 5 head pins in the second half. Strike 4 fill, spare 4 fill, and that's really all I can truly say about that game for Jeff Little. Tried his hardest, but 560 is his final line of defense. Here's JT to close out. He'll split 6. 7-10, 3-6. And will be a spare. Oh, he almost got it. He took the right 3-6-10, and the piece of wood came over to the 7, but kind of got stopped before it. It even touched it. You see it wiggling even. The plates of Exeter are interesting like that. Sometimes some late action happens later on. 9 or 10, it'll be a 10. 51 and 6 for JT Lyonnais. The race is on. JT Lyonnais needs to find 45 pins in 4 boxes, and that means he does need a mark. And a decent fill at that. Because 4 10s won't do it. 3 10s and a spare won't do it unless this fill is 6, effectively. And he's running out of time here, so that's a 7 drop. 1-8-9. The inverse of that shot Jeff Little threw. There's the spare. Now we have a match. That was what was needed for JT Lyonnais to keep this dang close. That's 61 and a bonus and 7 for Lyonnais. They're both equal in the 7th frame. JT Lyonnais now up, though. And that fill, he misses the head pin. That's a fill of 5, but fill of 5, that's serviceable. But that will mean he needs a mark. All 10s will mean that he can tie. But that miss there, oh man, this is going to be interesting. 1-2-10. He might be right back in this dilemma. If he can't get a 10 out of this, that'll be an 8. Okay, so now he needs a mark. I believe that's 74 and 8 for JT Lyonnais. 2 to go. Excuse me, it appears to be 75. I will double check that. I just need a free moment. Oh, but there's a strike for JT Lyonnais. I looked away and saw it just... The pin's just evaporated. It seems he has 75 in the 8th, and I will double check that in just a moment. And on the head pin for the strike fill, he'll drop 9 so far. Again, my apologies on the occasional score errors at the least inconvenient times, but there's a spare on strike for JT Lyonnais. But that puts him at least +8 in the total, so you know what? Regardless of what it is, that is the match for JT Lyonnais. It appears he has 105 plus a ball, so I will temporarily fix that, and I will get the paper copy in just a moment. There's a 5 and a 110 for JT Lyonnais, and that's 110. And that should be a 574 for JT Lyonnais. Give me 1 second just to confirm that.
It took me a straight. Little, it came down to last frame. Yeah. You came back from a 37-pin deficit in the 4th straight to take the lead.
Excuse me, that's a 6 fill for... So let me just double check just to make sure. 9, 10, spare. Oh, goodness. I see. Okay. My apologies on catching up on all of that. Okay, now we are good. Okay, so regardless of my occasional scoring errors, it is indeed JT Lyonnais who does win the match. It's 575, 5-game total for JT Lyonnais. Jeff Little, 560. that is your final score, and that is the match. So let's take a look at some additional analytics here. So that's 575 for Justin Lyonnais with a 103, 109, 150, 102, and 111. Jeff Little, 105, 119, 109, 133, and 94. That's a 560 for Jeff Little, 575 for JT Lyonnais. It was 6. So JT Lyonnais, 6 strikes, Jeff Little 4, JT 9 spares, Jeff Little 11 spares. The headpin percentages were impressive for both bowlers. JT 31 for 50. 575. 15.
Last 2 blocks.
64% of headpin for Jeff Little, 62% for JT Lyonnais. So again, those headpin percentages were insanely great. The splits counts were almost even, 11 for Little, 13 for JT Lyonnais. Then the fill totals, Jeff Little totaled 99, JT Lyonnais 125 bonus pins off of fills alone. And the first ball average, Jeff Little approximately 6.1, JT Lyonnais approximately 6.3, and you can see in that total pinfall graph, it was going back and forth for quite a bit to the point where it was almost just invisible at some points, or was like the same line. It diverged at about in the third game, it kind of started getting a little more dicey, but then JT Lyonnais came roaring back, especially towards the end, especially that 5th game was a roller coaster ride. So, my goodness, what a heck of a match that was. And so it will be JT Lyonnais versus Dominic Palladino. That will be the end of this match, and we will advance to the next round of the playoffs. And so, yes, the next match will be with Dominic Palladino. So, anyways, folks, a very loud building here. It's been a great match calling for you this evening. Let's do a little business here. So I'd like to thank our ACST committee members, including Danny Finn, our Class B treasurer, Corey Alisi, our statistician, Micah Imperato, the staff at Exeter Bowling Lane Shooter Sports Pub. I'd like to thank Steve Abadili for some of the B-roll and photography. You can check out his work at stabadili.com, STABODELY.com. I'd like to thank viewers like you for watching. That'll be it for us at Exeter Bowling Lanes at Shooter Sports Pub. Check out all these other fantastic channels for other Candlepin Bowling content. If you just can't get enough of Candlepin Bowling and want to see plenty more, there's also the Candlepin chat group on Facebook. There's classic Candlepin shows on YouTube as well. There's all these podcasts. If you're into podcasts, there's Charlie Collins and Tony Levesque on TikTok and YouTube respectively. And there's my channel, 3 Ball Spare. I'm on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. Check that out. Also check out candlepins4cancer.com. We talked about that earlier. So anyways, that should be just about it for us here. Also go to candlepin.org and click Go Bowling to find your nearest center if you live in New England and Eastern Canada. Anyways, for Jeff Little and JT Lyonnais, I've been Steve Kelly. It's been great calling this for you, and we'll see you at the next Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour, especially in the playoffs. Have a great one, everyone. Good night.
Damn, JT, you got to talk.